Thanks so much for joining us here on this midday update with the Crystal Rogers case on this Friday afternoon. I'm Brooke Hash. Some shocking testimony this morning in the murder case of Crystal Rogers. An ex-girlfriend of Steve Lawson took the stand and testified that she heard the Lawsons talking about moving a body. Now, Joseph Lawson is also on trial for allegedly helping Brooks Houck. Here are the three takeaways you need to know from the courtroom today. Ending the testimony yesterday was Danny Singleton, who was questioned to back up the prosecution's claims that Rosemary Houck, the mother of Brooks, was planning this murder. He admitted to talking to Rosemary weeks prior to Rogers' disappearance, saying that she was looking for someone to, quote, get rid of Rogers. More testimony today poking holes in Houck's statements to police. And Heath Stelling, Steve Lawson's ex-girlfriend, testified that she heard the father and son talking about the body, saying they used a skid steer to move her. Our Alexandra Goldberg is live from outside the Warren County courtroom today here in Bowling Green. Tell us more, Alexandra, about that testimony from Lawson's ex-girlfriend this morning.
Yeah, Brooke, before we jump into that, let me catch you up with, we have witness 15 and 16. Witness 15, a civil engineer. Now, remember that written statement we were telling you about? Brooks Houck wrote a written statement, took him an hour and a half to do it, 8 pages long, gave it to police. Jurors have a copy of this. It talks about his whereabouts on July 3rd. Well, we had a witness today say that she was out of office and did not meet with Brooks, although it was written in that statement that they were working together on a subdivision. Well, defense came back and said that he didn't say they met, only that they were working on plans. All right, witness 16. Let's go on to Ashley Nally. She's a woman who grew up with Crystal. She admits she didn't like her, but said that she was an amazing mother, said Crystal wasn't an outdoorsy person. Now, why is this important? We know that the defense is trying to say that it was Crystal's idea to go to the Houck family farm that night on July 3rd. Brooke, as you mentioned, we have Steve Lawson's ex-girlfriend testify in court today, a woman named Heather Snellen. She has two very important points that she brings up here. Let's go through that first one right now. So she pokes holes in the defense's theory that the Lawsons weren't on the Bluegrass Parkway moving Crystal's car. If you remember from opening statements, the defense claimed that Steve Lawson's phone only pinged near the Bluegrass Parkway because he was on a parallel road trying to steal back a car that he shared with his ex-girlfriend, Heather Snellen. Well, Heather Snellen came and testified today that this isn't true, that she got off of work on July 3rd and saw the car. She had the key fob, opened the door, and drove it to a family member's house on Boston Road, and that's the road parallel to the Bluegrass Parkway. Well, on July 4th, she went back to the family member's house to get the car, and it was indeed there. She said that she collected some things from the car when she cleaned it out. She found needles, soured clothes, and a little slugger bat. So she's saying it was never moved by Steve Lawson on that night. She plays another important role here, so let's move on to that point. Like you said, Brooke, Snellen testified that she overheard Steve and Joseph talking about moving a body at the Houck family farm with a skid steer. She testifies in court today that she never told police. She actually never told police anything until 2023 when she talked about that car incident. She says she later called Kentucky State Police back to explain a little bit more. Jurors did get part of a written statement that was read, where she writes she didn't know anything about Rogers' disappearance. On the stand today, she says, quote, "I wanted to distance myself. I didn't want to be involved. I'm a single mother. The truth is I overheard Steve Lawson and Joseph Lawson moving a body at the Houck farm with a skid steer." Now, she was also cross-examined by Brian Butler. That's the defense attorney for Brooks Houck. Brian Butler accused investigators of threatening her, saying that they warned her life could be ruined if she didn't remember more. Brian Butler says, quote, "They threatened you when you didn't do anything wrong." Now, they also played a portion of the Snellen and Kentucky State Police interview where you can hear an investigator saying, quote, "They killed Crystal Rogers." She responds in that interview, quote, "I honestly don't know, and I don't know where she's at." She was then seen leaving the courtroom. Very emotional. Brooke.
Alexandra, when Detective John Snow took the stand, he did also poke holes in the original conversation Brooks Houck had with police. What did they focus in on that interrogation?
Yeah, a couple of really key moments here that were played when John Snow took the witness stand. Of course, he was the former lead detective on this until he retired, but he really, had a lot of that groundwork that he was able to pass along to other agencies, including the FBI. In one key moment here, Jon Snow questions what they're doing on the Houck family farm. Now remember, July 3rd, it was rainy. They were there for over 4 hours and they had a young child, both Crystal and Brooks. They had a 2.5-year-old. And Jon Snow questions what they're doing. It's hard for him to imagine a child would stay up that late until midnight. Well, Brooks says Eli goes to bed late, that he doesn't go to bed even when there's a light on in the house. And Crystal was up that night playing phone games. I know you want to see that clip. Take a look.
All right, so you guys, you've taken your walk. The fire is down, maybe not out, but it's down enough. And you're leaving, and it looks, again, looking at the video, looks like it's about 5 minutes till midnight.
All right.
That's, to me, and I've got a couple of kids, but everybody parents a little differently. To me, it seems a little late to be out on the farm with a 2.5-year-old. Where is he at midnight? Has he been asleep in the car for a while? Is he still
No,
awake?
he's still wide open, and
Really?
and any night he's so used to sleeping so later in the morning. His normal day, that's his 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Really?
11, because she sleeps much later in the morning. She stays up. So and it's always been that way.
So
And
he's
like
good to
people
go
do,
at midnight.
He's wide open.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we also have another key clip to tell you about. Brooks Houck was actually called in for a second interrogation because Jon Snow found in phone records that late night call between Steve Lawson and Brooks Houck. Jon Snow says that Brooks never mentioned this in the initial police interrogation. Again, Snow found it in phone records, called him back in, and this new detail we saw come up, Snow actually saw him fumble with a voice recorder in this second police interrogations. And we hear in the interrogation room an exchange between Steve and Brooks, Snow questioning the validity of what they're talking about.
Hey, Steve. Hey, I can't hear you real good. I'm gonna ask you to speak up a little bit, okay?
Okay, sir.
Hey, I was wanting to know. Hey, I've got some things going on next week. I'm gonna need your help with it. Are you already booked up, or can you help me?
I haven't moved up yet. I'm still looking for a place. That's why I needed them numbers from you.
All right. Well, I can write them all down and get them there for you. But I was actually talking about doing some more work with your little skid steer and so forth. Mine's still broke down.
Well, like I said, get with me tomorrow. I'm coming. I know you're having a hard time hearing me because it's where I'm located at.
All right.
So just get in touch with me tomorrow and we'll see what we can do. But my question, I just want to tell you I'm sorry about everything that's going on in your life, brother, and I got you in my prayers.
I said it is a very difficult and trying time, but I appreciate you saying that. But hey, I need your help while I got you on the phone here. Do you remember the other night you called me really late, and I forgot what you asked me. Can you? I guess we wasn't on the phone. I might have been tired. I know it was pretty late at night. Can you remember what you asked me or what you were after? I can't remember.
Yes, sir, I can. I called to ask you for them numbers for a house.
Oh, for a rental house.
Yes, sir,
And
I did.
and what did I forgot? What did I tell you?
You told me that you would call, what's her name, Katie or whatever, she handles all that.
Crystal.
Crystal, okay, I apologize.
Yeah.
And you said she handles all that, and that you would get back with me on it.
All right. Thank you so much. Now.
Hey, if there's anything I can do, you give me a call.
Thank you. You have a good night now.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
Now, yesterday was all about phone calls. There's one more really important one that was shown to jurors. Nick calls his brother Brooks during a police interrogation, urging him to up and leave the interview. Now, Jon Snow says that this was the first time police suspect Nick in the Crystal Rogers case. Let's take a deeper look at that clip and some more witness testimony from yesterday. Former lead detective John Snow testifying that a phone call from Nick Houck to Brooks Houck in the interrogation room is what led police to suspect Nick for the first time in the case of Crystal Rogers.
The way that I look at it is I'm innocent. I ain't done nothing wrong.
Houck's brother advising him to up and leave the
I
examination.
know you told me innocent people have got jammed up, but if you're telling me to leave, I'll get up and leave.
Prosecutor Shane Young seen here outside of the courtroom during a break. Earlier, leaving jurors with an early indication of what he thinks is a family affair. But that wasn't the only phone call brought up in court today. A cross-examination revealed Houck's initial attempts to get in touch with Rogers. 3 phone calls, 2 on July 4th and 1 on July 5th, and a text message revealed through phone records. Everyone is worried sick. Please call me back. Houck's text to Rogers, the sole message shown to the jury from July 5th. The day before, Houck's first call to Rogers rings at 9:06 a.m., hours after Houck's wakes up in a scene in surveillance video driving to the Houck family farm. The second call, 12:18, around lunchtime. The third call clocking in at 6:41 p.m. the next day. But Houck's attempts to contact Rogers continues through messages to Rogers' family. Will you try to get a hold of Crystal for me? Sent to her relative. He messages another cousin. Is Crystal with you? More witnesses back to back take the stand, including Danny Singleton, Houck's friend and former employee, who says Houck's mother Rosemary came up to him at a home construction site. Quote, "It was over Crystal. She wanted to find someone to get rid of her. I told her around this town and with money, you can get anything done." But he assures the jury he never acted on it, and he never told police. "Kept it to myself," is what he told the courtroom. The first few witnesses and many cross-examinations to come as the Commonwealth's witnesses take the stand. In Bowling Green, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, Alexandra, a lot to sift
I'm in
through.
a virtually empty.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Brooke, you can see I'm in a virtually empty rotunda here. We've now had gone on lunch break, and when we come back, we're expecting to hear from some more witnesses for the Commonwealth. Remember, there's supposed to be about 50. We're in just under 20 right now. Still a long way to go. Brooke.
All right, Alexandra, thank you so much for keeping us updated throughout the day. WHAS 11 News is again committed to bringing you the most thorough coverage of the trial of the decade here in Kentucky. And our legal analyst, Nick Mudd, joins us daily to break down the key moments of the day, along with Shane McAllister and Alexandra there reporting from Bowling Green. That is every night on the WHAS 11 Plus app right here around 9 o'clock. And you'll see me again throughout the next week as we get more in touch with things going on in Bowling Green. You can download the WHAS 11 Plus app on your smart TV and watch for free. Thanks for watching.